Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at some idioms related to food, and we've got lots of lovely things in store for you today. We've got idioms to do with the actual eating of the food, after you've eaten, a few things loosely connected with food, but then special treat at the end, because we always have something sweet at the end, don't we? Not if you're my son and going to forest school, you don't. Anyway, at the end, we're going to have some Shakespeare quotes about food and see what the great bard himself had to say about food. Okay, our first one. Are we ready? Have we got a pencil? Are we listening? To have a lot on one's plate. So here's my great medieval plate. And I've got meat, and I've got vegetables, and I've got, I don't know, let's have some fish on there too. Now this is metaphorical, and it means that I have a lot to do. So all these things on my plate are things that I need to do. So you might say to someone who's having a very busy day, gosh, you've got a lot on your plate today, haven't you? To keep something under wraps. Now, I don't know if you've ever gone to a table and you're like, I wonder what it is. Because the plates, you've got the food, and then over the food, there's some maybe tin foil, and you can't see what you're going to be eating. The food has been kept under wraps. So, generally, outside of this context, if something is kept under wraps, it means that it's a secret. It's only going to be revealed at the chosen moment. Kept under wraps, kept secret. To bite the bullet. This relates to another video I've done on phrasal verbs to do with weapons and things, but you can check that out another time. To bite the bullet. Bullet, you put in the gun. If you bite the bullet, then you are going, okay, let's go and do this then. You're kind of like taking the punishment, and you're like, okay, I can deal with this. To bite the bullet, it's like, okay, come on then. To step up to the plate. Here we have to imagine the world's most enormous plate. Yep. This is a plate that would fill a giant. It's so big. Now, if we step up to the plate, we're going, yeah, I can eat all of that food. I am not scared of this huge plate of food. Stepping up to the plate means to accept the challenge. It's crunch time. Crunch. A sound word, an onomatopoeic word. It means to do with sound. Because crunch is the noise that we make when you crunch into a sandwich or something crispy. What it means is it's the moment of reckoning. Yeah, it's the decisive moment. I wonder if you can tell the date that I recorded this, because on Saturday it's going to be crunch time for the England rugby team about to play in the World Cup final. Crunch time. The important, decisive moment. A bitter means like kind of sour, like a lemon. Pill, like medicine. A bitter pill to swallow. Now, swallows when it goes down into your tummy. Yep. Pills are meant to make you better. Yeah. If we have some medicine, it's meant to make you better. But if it's a bitter pill, then it doesn't taste very nice. So it makes us better, but it's not a nice way of making us better. So typically we would say that if we hear a bit of bad news, if something a bit upsetting happens, you just say, yeah, it's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, that one, but I'll be okay. It's a bit like, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. It's that kind of idea. We're going to get stronger from this. Okay, so we've consumed our meal, and we're feeling quite full now. Gut. Gut is the stomach. What's your gut? Huh? What does that mean? It refers to gut instinct. There's an idea that you feel ideas right down here in the pit of your stomach. So some people feel fear right down here. Like, oh, I'm so scared, and they feel it here in their tummy. So your gut instinct is like your real, most attuned instinct. Yep, it's not kind of up here in the head. It's like what you really, really feel about things. What's your gut? It means, what do you think? What's your honest answer? My gut, yeah, my stomach, my gut tells me that it's going to be a long day, but a productive day. My gut instinct is that it is probably going to rain later. Okay. Now, here's my belt. If I have had, some people when they've had a really big meal actually undo like their top button because they feel so full. Belt tightening is when you tighten your belt when your waistline is going to get smaller. So if you say we need to do some belt tightening here, it means we're going to be doing a little bit less eating. And what it really means is that we're going to be going into a period of time where we're not going to be spending much money. Okay, if you tighten your belt, you're spending less, eating less. To scale something back. If you imagine kitchen scales, yeah, we're measuring the flour. We've got the flour here, the weight here. It's normally the other way around, isn't it? Yeah, we've got the flour here and the weight here. If we're scaling it back, then we're using a little bit less. To scale a project back means we put less into it, like less flour into the cake. Okay, the actual food. So brownies, like a chocolate sort of cake biscuity thing. Everyone likes brownies. Brownie points are when you win favor with someone. Oh, you've got some brownie points there. Great answer. Yeah, it means when someone has earned something good. It's kind of like a game. To compare apples to oranges. You know what? Don't worry too much about this because we don't use that one very often. So I'm going to rub that off. Only going to teach you the stuff you really need to know. Okay, a cash cow. Now, I've got a friend who runs a band called the Cash Cows. Great band. Do check them out. Now, a cash cow is a project that nets you lots of money. Like you set it up and it makes money and it doesn't require a lot of work to keep that idea generating money. A dog-eat-dog world. Dogs eating dogs. That's not a very nice image, is it? So if we've got a world where dogs are eating dogs, then we are living in a vicious and cruel world, which is what this phrase means. To pull one's weight. Now, if you do a pull-up, you're pulling up your weight. But the idea here is that you're sort of pulling your weight through life. It means you're like supporting yourself, but if you pull your weight in a group context, it means you are contributing what you can to that group. Yep, contributing what you should contribute. So the idea here, we've got heat and we've got cold. Heat is associated with passion and sort of anger and fieriness, and cold is like calm down, everything be calm. So if you throw cold water over something, you're just going, okay, calm down. We're not going to do that now. We're just going to stop and we're going to wait. Okay? It's time to show you some Shakespeare quotes about food. I always enjoy reading Shakespeare because he has a wonderful sense of humour, which you might notice in these quotes here. This is an absolutely classic insult. Truly, thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg. So just some old English to explain for you. Thou means you, and art means are. You are damned, like damnation is like the end of the world. It's gonna be terrible for you forever and ever. Like, so it's a simile, like an ill-roasted egg. Okay, so I know we don't normally roast eggs. It makes it even worse that the egg has been roast. So what can we tell here about what Shakespeare thinks about food? Well, it needs to be cooked properly. Yep. The poor egg deserves at least to be poached or scrambled or whatever in exactly the right way to make it a delicious egg, not a kind of sort of thing stuck to the bottom of an oven. I know they didn't have ovens then. Okay. Next one. 'Tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers. So abbreviation for it is, an ill meaning not really right, kind of, well, it could be unwell as well. 'Tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers. Because when we cook, you know, we want to get involved in the food and taste it. If the cook does not want to do that, it shows that the food is disgusting and therefore that the cook is not doing a good job. So, you know, he's all about enjoying it. He hath eaten me out of house and home. Do you want to have a go at saying that? He hath eaten me out of house and home. So we don't normally use the he hath bit because that's old English, but we very much still use this phrase to eat someone out of house and home. Typically, we might think of teenagers coming back home and eating all of the contents of a fridge. So if you eat someone out of house and home, there is no more food in the house and the home is the same thing. Yeah, all of the food has gone. There's a lovely story called The Tiger That Came to Tea by Julia Kerr. It's like a book written in the 1960s for children. And the tiger that comes to tea eats all of the food in the house. The tiger eats them out of house and home. And then finally from Twelfth Night, if music be the food of love, play on. That's probably the most well-known quotation out of the four. And it's a metaphor. To briefly explain it, we have music and love is being compared to food. So if we don't eat, then we don't survive. Yep. So food gives us life in the same way that music encourages love. So he's talking to the musicians here. Play on. Keep playing. Keep studying. Do have a go at the quiz now. Thank you for watching. And I will see you very soon.